Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for the Cube Nuroad C62 Pro gravel bike. And then at the end, I will give you my advice. Should you just go ahead and buy this bike or should you just consider it? But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and hit that little like button because it's gonna help in growing the channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, then definitely thank you. So, as I was saying, Cube Nuroad C62 Pro gravel bike with a retail price of 2,500 British pounds. And let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, Cube Nuroad C62 platform is a classical example of a gravel bike. So if you spend most of your time on the road, but from time to time you like to do some bike packing or you like to go a bit of off-roading but nothing too demanding, like you want to explore some of the gravel roads around your hometown, then definitely you should kind of have a look at this Cube Nuroad C62 Pro road bike. The retail price of 2,500 British pounds is very attractive, I have to say, and we can dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. One thing to note here is that there is only one paint scheme on offer. It is this classical black with a hint of red. It's a decent paint scheme, but as I usually like to say, it would be nice to have a selection of paint schemes for this bike. It is what it is with this only one paint scheme on the bike. So let's have a look at the components of this bike and really see what do you get. We can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is a carbon frame, Cube's own advanced twin mold carbon frame, and also the fork is the carbon fork from Cube. Both frame and the fork have an internal cable routing, 12mm through axles both front and the back, and also there is a press fit bottom bracket on this frame. The flat mount disc brakes both front and the back. Also on this carbon frame you will have fender and rack mounts, which is always good because if you want to do some bike packing you can definitely stuff a lot of stuff on this bike. When we speak about the warranty on carbon frames and forks from Cube, unfortunately, in my opinion, the warranty is only 3 years. This is one of the lowest warranties in the industry because majority of the players can offer a lifetime warranty. Just think about Giant, Merida, Trek Specialized, but also there's a lot of manufacturers which are offering easily 6 years warranty. So this 3 years warranty on carbon frames and forks should definitely be changed in the future for Cube. So this would be my advice to the Cube as a company. Now let's talk about the braking system on this bike. So what do you get? You are getting a Shimano GRX RX 400 hydraulic disc brakes, 160mm braking rotors front and back. And I'll just mention here that these hydraulic disc brakes are going to work perfectly fine. There's going to be no problems with these RX 400 hydraulic disc brakes. And also I will just mention here that these braking rotors, 160mm both front and the back, are a basic Shimano's RT64 braking rotors. So I would advise you in the future, when you destroy these rotors, definitely upgrade to the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors, or you can use the braking rotors from the Shimano's mountain bike range, for example Shimano XT braking rotors. The main reason is that the Shimano Ultegra braking rotors will come with the Shimano's Ice-Tech Ice Freeza technology, so much better heat dissipation and much better stopping power than these basic Shimano's RT64 braking rotors. Now let's talk about the group set on the bike. So in this case we are talking about the shifters and the rear mech. So there is no front mech on this bike because there is a single chainring at the front. So when you look at the shifters, these are the Shimano's GRX RX 600, but when you look at the rear mech, it's going to be the GRX RX 812. So there is a bit of upgrade in the rear mech, and then the shifters are Shimano's RX 600. So this is a Shimano's dedicated gravel group set, mechanical group set, 11-speed group set. It's going to work perfectly fine. I absolutely have no complaints about it. As I said, the bottom bracket on this bike is the Shimano's press fit bottom bracket standard BB71, so 86mm press fit bottom bracket, should work perfectly fine. When you look at the crankset on this bike, so what do you get? You are getting a Shimano's GRX RX 600 crankset, and this is a 40-tooth crankset, so single chainring at the front, and this is paired with the Shimano's SLX cassette, 1142 cassette. So this cassette, as you see, comes from the mountain bike world in Shimano, SLX. This is their M7000 cassette, but it's so great that you have a 1142 cassette, so a huge cassette, and the 40 chainring at the front. So you even have a lower gear than 1-to-1. So there's absolutely no problem in attacking any steep mountains or spending long days in the saddle. When we speak about the chain on this bike, you are getting a Shimano's HG601 chain, of course 11-speed chain, and this is the Shimano 105 level chain. Perfectly fine. Even when you destroy it, you can keep the same chain, HG601, or you can even upgrade if you really want to, like the Shimano Ultegra level chains, or you can also use the chains from the Shimano's mountain bike world, their 11-speed chains. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike. So you see the wheel set is a Fulcrum Rapid Red 900 wheel set. So this Fulcrum Rapid Red 900 you can't buy on the open market. This is a dedicated wheel set for the OEM, original equipment manufacturers, so Fulcrum would only offer this wheel set to different manufacturers. But the highlights of this wheel set are that it is a classical aluminum wheel set. It is a tubeless ready, but of course you will need to provide your own tubeless tape and the tubeless valves. And this wheel set has a weight of 1,950 grams. It has a rim height of 24 millimeters and internal rim width of 22 millimeters. Also keep in mind that this wheel set can take the tires all the way up to 45 millimeters, which is absolutely great. And I have to mention here that there are 28 spokes both front and the back, and sealed cartridge bearings in the hubs front and the back. So it's just a decent aluminum wheel set from Fulcrum. Keep in mind approximately 2 kilograms in weight and a classical aluminum wheel set. Generally, no complaints here from me, and I'm expecting this wheel set to last a long time for you with these classical sealed cartridge bearing hubs. This wheel set is also wrapped in Schwalbe G1 all-round tire. So this is a 40mm tire, which is absolutely great. I like that Cube has included this 40mm tire because there is so much more air volume in that tire, and you're gonna have so much more comfortable bike ride. Even in the future, when you are replacing your tires, of course you can use Schwalbe tires, or if you want, let's say Continental, Pirelli, whatever brand you want, but I will still keep this 40mm tire just because of a lot of air volume. Now let's talk about some of the smaller pieces on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem. So the handlebar is the aluminum handlebar from Cube, and also the stem is the Newman Evolution aluminum stem. I'm so glad that these parts are separate, nothing is proprietary here, everything is easy to replace in the future, and even if you need to upgrade your position on the bike, it's going to be very simple with these classical aluminum pieces, separate pieces, nothing proprietary. When you look at the seat post and the saddle, so the saddle is the Natural Fit Nuance. I'm guessing this is some kind of in-house production brand of Cube. I'm not expecting anything special here. And the seat post is the Newman carbon seat post, 27.2 millimeters. Absolutely great. It's going to soak up a lot of small bumps. With this saddle, as I said, it's a personal preference, so it's very easy to replace in the future if you really want to replace, and just keep your preferred saddle as long as possible. I'm also glad here that Cube has included the weight of this bike, so the total system weight is 9.4 kilograms. I'm expecting this is for some kind of size medium, size 56. So, for example, in my case, I would need to buy the size large, so it's easily another 200 grams, and also you need to fit pedals on this bike, so add another, 300 grams. So all in, when the bike is ready for riding, it can easily be approximately 9.7 kilograms. But again, this is a proper gravel bike, so it has to be a bit heavier, so you can take a lot of bags on this bike or stuff that you are dragging around when you are going off-roading. So, in a summary, when we consider the retail price of 2,500 British pounds and all the carbon frame, fork, and all the Shimano GRX components on the bike. So what would be my advice to you? Should you just consider this bike, or should you just go ahead and buy this bike? Well, I think you should just go ahead and buy this bike, because it's a very attractive price point of 2,500 British pounds, and considering all the components that are on the bike, I absolutely have no special complaints about it. And as I said, there's only a few pieces to upgrade in the future, for example, like the braking rotors, or maybe if you really want to upgrade your handlebar and the stem with something, lighter or something carbon fiber. Wheels, totally fine as it is, out of the box, Fulcrum Rapid Red 900. So generally speaking, yes, I would advise you to just go ahead and buy this bike, especially if you can get a bit of discount. So let's say you get it a little bit lower than 2,300, 2,200 British pounds. Absolute steal of a bike. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!